Yo, PC fam, welcome to another episode of Chill with Chill. We are here like we are every Saturday, talk some good ball. You know, in-season tournaments going crazy, but we have other news in NBA as well. So we're going to get into a lot of stuff today. We already got some super chats to get into, but first, Chill, what's going on? How was the holiday weekend and everything? How's it treating you?
It was good, man. Food and football, hanging out. The in-season tournament was real eventful. So yeah, man, we rocking, We rocking, Big Ox. We definitely rocking. It's basketball season.
Yeah, right on, right on. Whew. Well, let's not waste no time. Let's get straight to it. Like I said, we already got some super chats, so let's see what they're talking about. We got one from Your Highness Charles. He said, fellas, my Magic are 11-1 in our last 12 games. Wait until Paolo is back. We're making a run. What do you think of Dennis Schroeder trade? Actually, Chill, this was a topic that we were gonna talk about anyway. So, Your Highness Charles, thanks for getting us into it.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about the Magic these last 12? First, let's say, because you know how when Luke has been out with the Mavericks, people have been saying there's been whispers. Oh, they're better without Luke. I haven't heard those same whispers about Paolo and the Magic. Why is that, and what do you think about that?
Because there isn't a glaring issue with Paolo, and that offense in Orlando is still bad. They're in the bottom 10 in the league in offense, but defensively, I think they're third in the league. Defensively, I think they give up the second. I think they give up the second or the third most points. I think they got the third best defensive rating, and they got one of the best rotations in the game. And when Paolo gets back, he's going to add a dimension that they didn't have, that they have now, which is a better ball handler, another scorer, and not only another scorer, another distributor and playmaker that they don't have. That should help their offense. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, Paolo isn't a guy that's going to give you efficient buckets regularly. Like, he'll give you buckets, but he's definitely going to make them better. I never subscribed to the logic of a team is better without their best player, especially considering if that player isn't a cancer. Because you got guys, Ox, who they are better off without a guy because that guy could be a cancer. Paolo is not a cancer to the Orlando Magic.
You got any examples of maybe guys you've seen in the past that were, you know, the first or second best player on the team? They go out and you realize, wow, this team really is better without this guy. He's just getting in the way.
It's called addition by subtraction. Just letting the guy go. A prime example, and I don't like to harp on it, but Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, when he was with the Boston Celtics, when Kyrie Irving left, they got better without Kyrie Irving. And that's not necessarily to say that Kyrie Irving isn't a good player, but once Kyrie Irving got off that crew, some things were different, and they just became a better team without him. And that's not the case with everybody. Luka is not a cancer in Dallas. Let's get to the bottom of that right now. No, he is not. Your best, one of the best passes in the league, I think the best scorer in the league, and one of the better rebounding guards in the league. You take that off your crew, that doesn't make your team better. Now, what it does is when you guys are winning, what it does is it makes that guy look at the crew and go, all right, because Ox, you're a team guy. He looks at the crew and he goes, okay, they rolling without me. So the fact that they rolling without me, what do I need to do to ensure that this train keeps rolling? Because the last thing I want for us to go right back to where we were before I got back in the lineup. Because now it's evident I'm the problem. It's obvious that I'm the problem, and I don't want that. These guys are rolling. What do I need to do to continue? What do I need to do to make sure that this continues? And if they get once they get Paolo back, Paolo doesn't do anything that's detrimental to this unit. In fact, he enhances this unit. He's not a cancer. He's not a guy that's bad on defense. He gets on the glass. I'd like to see him get on the glass a little bit more. He will defend, and that's just going to enhance this Orlando team. Their offense is their biggest problem. Just like with the Lakers, their defense is their biggest problem. This team right here, Orlando, their offense is their biggest problem consistently. They don't get guys to knock down shots on a consistent basis, like KCP, who they got there to knock down shots. Jalen Suggs, right? Guys who can stretch the defense. They don't have that on a consistent basis. They do have guys who can score the basketball, but they don't have guys that can knock down shots and keep that offense flowing because the ball moves on that team. It's just they got to – I feel like they got to get better continuity. And once they get Paolo back, I think he'll help.
I'm looking here. I have it right here. We do have to speak about Franz.
Yep.
I mean, Franz has been averaging 27.2, 7 assists, 5.8 rebounds, 2.3 steals. I mean, what else can I say about Franz? I want to know, what do you think happens to him, his scoring, and his all around presence when Paolo comes back? Does he start playing second fiddle to Paolo? Does Paolo take the backseat to Franz, or do they coexist like no issue?
Well, it's exactly what we just got finished talking about, Ox. I'll go out the lineup. Y'all start rolling. You rolling in the process of us getting back in the lineup. Now, you and me have a conversation. All right, Ox, what do I need to do to make sure that you keep doing what you're doing? Okay, chill. I see that you like the ball here. This is where my action is. This is where I play the best. And now what I'm doing is I'm playing to be more conducive to your game, but I can still play my game, right? I can still play my game, which is what I feel like Paolo was doing. What I enjoy the most when I watch players, Ox, is I enjoy seeing the progress. It's obvious that Franz was in the lab this summer. It's obvious that Franz was working on his game, his drive game, his dribble pull-up. I'd like to see him get on the glass a little bit more, because as a big guy at 6'9", 6'10", I don't know if 6 rebounds is enough. I'd like to see him rebound a little bit more. But other than that, I love the way he competes. I love how he gets downhill. The game looked like it's slowing down for him. I'm watching a dude who he doesn't seem to get sped up like he did in the past, where he'll take bad shots. If he's got a mismatch, he knows exactly how to take advantage of it. I really like that about him. His game looks a lot calmer than it did in the past. And
slow, like he's more patient, real patient.
Yes, that's exactly what's going on with him. That's exactly what, and that's what I mean, Ox, when I say I like to see the maturation of guys' game. When I see a guy and I go, yo, he was in the lab this summer. He was working on his game. And it's obvious. So when you get Paolo back in the lineup, he already sees that, and he already sees what they're doing. And to be quite honest with you, Ox, he's not on the sideline like he's on the sideline like, yo, I can't wait to get back into this.
Right.
This is awesome. Wait till I get back into this. I'm gonna make this even better than what it already is.
Right.
And not as a detriment neither. Like, all right, I gotta go in, I gotta get a bunch of shots. No.
Right. So you're saying, with Paolo, you don't think he has any ego issues. You don't think he has any problem with Franz being the heck of a player he is. You're saying that you think he's enjoying that, and he can't wait to get out there with his boys again.
Well, first of all, Franz already got paid. Okay, so I think Paolo's up next season. I think he's eligible for a contract extension next season. So he's already been an all-star. They've been to the playoffs. He sees what they're doing. He sees what Franz is doing, and I'm one of those people who I think we can coexist. I think it could be. I think it could, even if you are the better player or I'm the better player. There is no issue with me deferring to you when you got it going. Just like there shouldn't be any issue with you deferring to me when I got it going. I've seen the better players do that. I've seen Isaiah Thomas tell Joe D that he got it going. I need you to move to the one. And Joe D go, okay, I got to get you more involved in the offense. Right. I've seen that going on. So with a guy like Paolo, he sees this train moving and he sees what Franz is doing. I think he's licking his chops. I think he's looking at Franz going, wait till I get back in this lineup. This is going to be even better. I'm going to help this dude, and he's going to help me get even better. And we're both going to get to our common goal. No doubt about that. He's not trying to throw a monkey wrench in what's going on. Nah.
Okay. And so the second part of the super chat, Chills, what do you think of Dennis Schroeder trade?
Well, the question that I have is, what are the pieces that are available for Orlando to give Brooklyn? So Brooklyn is clearly having a fire sale. They already made it clear who's available. It's 3 guys that they made it clear that aren't available. So it looks to me like they're starting over. They Cam Thomas is on the table. Cam Johnson is on the table. Claxton. Come get whatever you want. Now, be clear, Ox. You know, I'm not selling $2,000 skis for $50. Okay, so don't think that
it's in a garage sale.
Oh, this is not that. No, it's not going on. Okay, I am selling, but you're not gonna rob me neither. So let's chill out on that, right? Let's relax there. So with that being said,
what are they looking for in this trade? What are the pieces or whatever that Brooklyn needs back?
I think Brooklyn is looking for draft picks, to be honest with you, Ox. I think they
Orlando has some.
Yes, I think they're looking for draft picks more than anything, because this Brooklyn team, I don't think that they were prepared to be this good. And it's kind of throwing a monkey wrench in what's going on right now, because we still got to get a franchise player. You don't put all of your players, Thomas, Cam Johnson, Claxton, Dennis Schroeder, Finney Smith, and they actually lowered the asking price for Finney Smith. You don't put all of these guys on the table, Ox, if you have a franchise player. You clearly don't have a franchise player. In fact, Ox, you know what you got? You got a bunch of chicks that you seen. You ain't seen your wife yet, though. You haven't. You have not seen your wife yet. You ain't met her yet. But you got a bunch of chicks you really dig.
I think a lot of people are mistaken. I think a lot of people think Cam Thomas is a franchise player, and I'm here to let you know he's not. He is a heck of a scorer. You could put that ball in the basket with the best of them. I won't deny those facts. I would not do that. But I want to make it very clear to all the Brooklyn Nets fans and the basketball fans around the world. Cam Thomas is not the franchise player that that's not what the Brooklyn Nets are looking for as a franchise.
And understand the difference to what Ox is saying. Understand the difference. There's a difference between the franchise player and a piece. I think Cam Thomas is a piece to what you're trying to do, but he's not Bryant, Jordan. He's not the guy that you building your unit around. No,
right. He's a guy you add. If you got a Giannis, you go get Cam. You know,
right?
Not necessarily saying those two players. I'm saying if you got a foundation like what Giannis is or Jokic is, then you go get a complimentary piece like Cam Thomas,
which is exactly what he is. I don't have if I have Paolo is my franchise player. I add Cam to that. I don't have Cam and I'm adding Paolo. No, that's not the way that works. If I have France is the guy I'm building this unit around. I'm not building it around Cam. I'm going to add Cam Johnson to this unit. Now, I want to be made clear that Brooklyn isn't in a bad space because they got pieces that they can move off of. One, to get draft picks. Two, I feel like to get younger players, but I don't think they have that franchise player. I do think Cam Thomas is a piece that they can build around, but I don't think that they have that foundational piece. They don't have Shaq. Right? I don't think they got Giannis. They don't have Joker. The guy that, okay, this is who we are building our unit around, and we're going to add Cam Thomas, and we're going to add this guy. So, with that being said, to add Dennis Schroeder, to get Dennis Schroeder off the roster, if I could get Cole Anthony and such and get a couple of draft picks back, I think that helps us. Because, again, what we're trying to do here in Brooklyn, we got to get a foundational piece more than anything. We have to get a foundational piece.
Right. Chill real quick. Someone asked a question in the comments, and I don't know how they weren't aware of this already. Can you show the people the shirt you got on? They said, "Wait, Chill has his own PC merch." What? Y'all don't know? Chill, what's that say?
Take it light, but take it.
Oh man, y'all make sure y'all go to PCmerch.com and grab that shirt. Right. Everybody who's anybody got one, so make sure to go get that, y'all.
Go get it.
I also saw somebody mention Chill, Jalen Suggs. No way Orlando can come off of Jalen Suggs.
I don't think so.
Right? Not for Dennis Schroeder. With all respect to Dennis.
Well, first of all, make no mistake about it, Ox. Orlando is also building something. I mean, France ain't that old. France is what, 23?
Yeah, 23. He's a year older than Paolo.
23. Paolo's 22. Suggs is what, 22, 23? They're building something. There's no way that they're coming off of Jalen Suggs for Dennis Schroeder when Dennis Schroeder, for all intents and purposes, is a baller. But if you could keep this foundation together that you have with Suggs, Paolo, France, his brother, Isaac. If you could keep this foundation together, I'm willing to come off of Wendell Carter. I'm willing to come off of him because I feel like I've gotten all I'm going to get out of him. I don't think that I've gotten as much that I've liked. I mean, I don't think he's the force around the basket that I would have expected him to be. He's not that. So with that being said, those four guys, Ox, I'm willing to continue to build my unit around them, and I don't want to break it up for Dennis Schroeder. Nah, because again,
but don't forget. Like obviously, I'm against moving Jalen for Dennis Schroeder, but let's not forget about that German connection between Dennis, Franz, and Mo.
That is one. It is there. Yes, it is there. And they won the FIBA World Championships. Yes, they did with that crew. And Dennis Schroeder was the FIBA World Championship MVP. He did win the FIBA MVP. I can get with that. But even with that connection being said, I mean, Ox, we've been together down here in Orlando for a couple of years now, and we got something brewing. Like that FIBA thing, I mean, y'all get together and y'all been together for a while too. But this thing we got in Orlando, we consistently been together for quite a while, and we building something. And I want to stick with that. I don't want to break that up. But as far as Brooklyn, I feel like Brooklyn is interested in draft picks. I feel like Brooklyn needs a foundational player, because once you get a foundational player, now I got somebody that I can build my unit around.
Okay, no doubt. Well, thanks for that super chat, y'all.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Crazy, because our next topic, there's also a super chat that came through about that topic as well. I know a lot of people are concerned, if maybe that's a proper word, about LeBron James and his battle with Father Time. Now, chill. It's crazy because we're not even 20 games deep yet. We're almost there. We're pushing 20 games. And in these 20 games, we've already heard great things about LeBron. He had 5 triple doubles, 5 in a row, I think. 4. Okay. He had 4 triple doubles, and everybody was saying, "Oh, LeBron's he's still this, he's still that." But now, his last 4 games, he's at 18 points, 18 points, 16 points, 12 points, and now we get super chats like this. Chill. I'm really worried about my Lakers, man. A lot of people saying LeBron's done. I just think he's in a slump and his body language don't look right. There's something going on, but I don't know. Chill, can you speak to this? What do you think is happening with LeBron?
He's getting old. That's it. What do you expect from him on a night-to-night basis that you expected years ago? You still expect that now. And he can't do it. He can't do it like that consistently. There's going to be nights when he just doesn't have it. And primarily because I'm 39 years old. And because he's been doing it at a high level for so long, you expect him to just turn it on. He can't do that anymore because, again, he's old. But then you got guys on the crew like Anthony Davis, like D'Angelo Russell, like Austin Reeves, like Rui, who you expect those guys to pick up the slack. Okay, sure. Anthony Davis, I think Anthony Davis is second. I think he's not third. I think at one point he was third in the league in scoring. But no, that's Joker. Joker's third in the league in scoring. But the rest of those guys, James was able to supplement so many other things that guys couldn't do for so long. Now we're at a point where he can't do that anymore. He can't pick up the slack for what you guys were lacking so much in the past anymore. He can't do that. And he can't do that off the strength that he's older now. He can do it in stretches. He can do it for a little while. He can't do it for long stretches. He can't do it for an entire season. He can't do that because he's older now. But because he's there and you've seen him so much, you've seen him get busy, you've seen him take teams to the NBA championship, he's got to still be this good. He's not. And that's where guys like Anthony Davis come in. That's where guys like D'Angelo Russell come in. And the biggest problem that we have with this team, which, by the way, last night, I saw some life. The biggest problem with this team is their defense. But I saw some life last night on the defensive end of the floor with this team. They actually competed on the defensive end of the floor. Not only did they compete on the defensive end of the floor, they turned that defense into offense, and it worked. The problem was SGA was too much. And what you're expecting with this Laker team, you're expecting James, who you've seen so many times close games, you're expecting him to do that, not realizing that I'm just not that guy anymore on a consistent basis. That's where Anthony Davis comes in. He's the guy that's got to demand the basketball when we get into the meat and potatoes of games. Only except that's not who he is. That's not who he is. And I think James,
they got to do like what you said, Chill. They got to start picking up that phone. This Laker team, as currently constructed, and I know it's not going to sound good coming from me, but let's take all the Laker hate stuff off the table, guys. Let's just talk ball for a second. They have to pick up that phone, Chill. This roster as currently constructed is not going far. They need to call the Chicago Bulls. And I know you've been against it. And I actually wasn't all for it either. But now they need to see about Zach LaVine. They got to do it. They got to call for Zach LaVine. Hell, call about Cam Thomas. I know you said Brooklyn Nets are off. I know they want draft picks, and the Lakers don't got much as far as that goes. But they got to start making some phone calls, Chill. They have to see about Cam Thomas. They got to see about Zach LaVine. They got to do something, Chill. They have to. And I know these guys aren't hellified defensive stoppers, but they'll get you some buckets in that fourth quarter. They can, like, these are guys that can go band for guys like SGA. They might not be the level of player he is, but if SGA goes off for 12, 13 in a quarter, Cam Thomas, Zach LaVine, they can battle. They can do that with him. So I don't want to act like it's 2K and it's just easy to go get a guy that can score and that's going to fix everything. But that's a start, Chill.
But also,
they have to call somebody.
But and to your point, Ox, I could get LeBron James if we get into the meat and potatoes of the game. I can get James to just guard. Hey, I'll take care of the points for the rest of the night. You just slow this guy down. You just slow this guy down. Hey, and I think James will be welcoming of that. Like, I think he'll look at Cam Thomas and go, "Can you score the rest of the points in the last 4 minutes of this game?" Yeah, I can do that. Okay, I'll deal with SGA. I'll deal with J-Dub. I'll deal with him for the rest of the night. I'll deal with him. You score the rest of the points. Anthony, can you score the rest of the points? Yes, I can score the rest of the points. Okay, I'm just going to defend and I'm going to rebound. That's what I'm going to do. And I think that even though he's long in the tooth, I think he's still good enough that he could do that. But when you start asking him to do that, plus this, plus that, I think you're asking too much. I think you're asking way too much.
And not to be a guy that's asking too much, because I hear what you're saying, Chill, but Brian can do even a little more. Brian will tell him, like, yo, Cam, Zach, or whoever. And plus, don't forget, the Bulls are also wanting to get off of Vooch as well. So, they can make a big splash in the trade market right now. But if they are, I believe LeBron is the perfect guy to do what Gary Payton did with Shaq, to holler at AD, like, yo, and we sitting down all this quarter. We're getting stops, we're getting steals, and we're getting him the basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody shoots the ball until he touches it. Nobody.
Right. We are going to sit. We are going to get rebounds, Anthony. We are going to run the floor, and don't worry, Cam. Don't worry about Zach. I'm gonna get you the ball where you need it. That's what I do. I'm LeBron James.
Yes.
I think that's what LeBron needs right now, and I think the Lakers need to get that done for him because Father Time is coming. Like you said, Chill, he's 40 years old. 40, was he 39?
He'll be 40 next month. Sitting on the couch, Ox. He's sitting right next to him. Sitting right next to him.
Come on, man. Like the Lakers cannot waste LeBron's his last couple. I don't know how many he got. That's up to him and whoever, but it's not going to last much longer, and they don't need to waste it. I'm telling you, LA, pick up that phone, call Chicago, call Brooklyn, call Portland, call make some phone calls. There's people out there that can really get some buckets for y'all.
I told you this, Ox, and nobody wants to listen to me. I think this is it for James. I do. I think he quits
last season.
I think he quits after this year. I do. I think he quits after this. I'll be surprised if he played after this season. I think he's out.
Which doesn't. I mean, this is LeBron James we're talking about, and I mean he's off. Let's not act like Bron's not Hollywood. He
100%.
He can't go out without that farewell tour that Kobe had. He got to let it be known, right?
And is that something that he would do though? Like knowing James, is that something that he would do, knowing how beloved Jabbar was, knowing how beloved Kobe was? Is that something that he would do? Is he considered a Laker? This is year 7 that we're in, and you could be on a team. You could be on a team for a long period of time and not be considered that. Alex Rodriguez, in all intents and purposes, he was never really considered a Yankee.
Right.
He even though he played there for a bunch of years, won the World Series, he never was really considered a Yankee. Like Derek Jeter is a Yankee. Bernie Williams is a Yankee. So, James.
Is Shaq a Laker?
Yes, 100% Shaq is a Laker. No doubt about that. Shaq is a Laker. There's a statue of him outside the arena. Absolutely, he's a Laker. So, would he do something like that? I don't know, Ox, if he's announcing, all right, this is my last season. I'm out after this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he quit after the season. Like, yo, you saw what he did in 2014 when he went back to Cleveland. He didn't even say nothing. He released a statement. I'm out. I'm going back home. So I would not be surprised, Ox, if he at the end of this season, win, lose, or draw, if he said, I'm out, because he got his boy in the league. In the process of getting his boy in the league, wants to see him get acclimated. Now, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't answer. I'm not locked in with the Laker media cartel enough to know if he's considered a Laker, but I know he's loved. I know they love him in LA. I know that a lot of people call it the Mickey Mouse ring, but he brought a ring to the franchise. They got to the Western Conference Finals 2 seasons ago. He's had good runs with the Lakers. I think once again, if they make the proper phone calls and bring somebody down there, I think they can make another run. I know the West is jam-packed and it's crazy, but it's wide open if you ask me. So the Lakers have just as much chance as anybody to win the West. So
if you look at the Western Conference,
I think so too.
So Oklahoma City's at the top. Houston, who is a lot better than what I thought they were going to be. Is anybody really afraid of Houston odds?
I don't think so. No.
How about Golden State? They're at 3. I mean, are we really tripping on Golden State?
I don't think anybody's afraid of Golden State, but they know Steph Curry's over there.
So. Okay, they dangerous. I won't argue that part. Yeah, they dangerous.
Yeah, we're not gonna play with them, still.
No, we're not. We're not gonna play with them. We know they dangerous, but are we really like, yo, these dudes can win it? No, I'm not going that far. But I do think that they dangerous. How about Memphis, Ox? How you feel about them?
I'm sleep on them too. I'm snoozing.
So we got Denver at 5, and Joker is the linchpin there.
I'm sleeping on them too. I'm not worried about Denver.
The only reason why I give them a shot is because they got Joker.
Right.
You got the Lakers
100%.
at 6. Right. You got the Lakers at 6. They're a game and a half out the 3 spot, by the way. But you got the Lakers at 6. You got Dallas back. You got Dallas at 7. They were at 11 like a week and a half ago. They're now in the play-in tournament. Are you tripping on Dallas, Ox? How you feel about them?
Not too much, no.
How you feel about Denver? That's how I feel about the Clippers. We got them at 8. I'm snoring, mouth open, slob coming. I'm snoring on the Clippers.
Yeah, me too. I haven't seen Kawhi Leonard all year. I'm not worried about them at all.
And by the way, that's actually been the talk of that's been the topic of conversation, that Kawhi is now looking good in workouts. I mean, half the season is about to be over with before we see him.
Yeah,
half the season is. So we got Phoenix at 9, right? We got Phoenix at 9, and then we got San Antonio. And then we got San Antonio.
My eyes are open to Phoenix though. I know
how you feel about them.
Yeah. Once again, though, too, I think all these teams are good enough that they don't have to worry too much. Like, okay, you got to be concerned. You got to respect OKC. You got to respect Steph Curry and his whole squad. You got to respect them. Yep. I mean, you got to respect everybody, but that's why I feel like the West is wide open. That's why I feel like the Lakers need to make a move, because they can win this thing. Anthony Davis is playing great. I know y'all say his defense isn't what it used to be, but that's not saying much because his defense is amazing still. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got.
Where's the gap, Ox? When you talk about the Western Conference, Ox, where do you see the gap of those teams?
I think the gap comes when you start talking about us. When you start talking about the Kings, Memphis, I think we're the team that separates. Like, okay, now we're not the team to be worried about. Like,
so those 7, 8 teams. So it's not like this. It's we all like right around here. Is what you're telling me?
Yeah, I think that those top teams. I think anybody can win that. I think when you start talking about the Kings, the Spurs, those teams. You know what I'm saying? That's when it's kind of like, those guys ain't doing. They're not about nothing. You know what I mean? And mind you. We're still dangerous. Now, I don't think anybody's concerned with us, but we still got pieces. We're still dangerous. But so the West is wide open if you ask me, Chill. And I'm not here supporting the Lakers by no stretch of the imagination. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, for good basketball purposes, please do something. You know what I'm saying? Please.
It sounds to me, listening to you, Ox, that you don't love anybody in the Western Conference. That's why you're saying the Lakers. That's why you're saying the Lakers. Yo, go pick the telephone up, because there's nobody in the Western Conference. I don't see nobody in the West. I don't see Boston in the Western Conference. I don't.
Right.
I do not see Boston in the Western Conference.
If you gave me $100 and say, yo, Ox, I need you to put your money on one of these teams in the West, I'd have to close my eyes and do this.
Wow. Because I wish I could say I hated it, Ox. I wish I could say that I got some combat for you, but when I'm looking at the Western Conference, Oklahoma City without Chet, who I don't think Chet's coming back this season, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't rush that.
As good as Hartenstein is, and Hartenstein's a lot better passer than what I thought he was. He can pass that thing. Yes, he can, and he gets on the glass. Houston's ahead of schedule. I had Houston at 5, right? I had Houston at 5. With Houston being at 5, Golden State is the chick that's hanging around at the club at the end. That's who Golden State is. Like, damn, she's still in. man, and she's dangerous because I'll tell you what, Ox, 1 or 2 more drinks and she's gonna be coming home with you. That's what's gonna end up happening. So she dangerous. Okay. Then you got Memphis at number 4, and you know, Ja's in and out of the lineup. Bane has been in and out of the lineup, and he hasn't been great. And I feel like Ja makes them, I feel like Ja gives them a different dynamic. But to your point, of these teams in the Western Conference, there's nobody that I'm going, okay, that's Boston right there. Nobody in the Western Conference that I think is head and shoulders above everybody today. Nobody.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't say
in that playoff race. I'm not saying that Oklahoma City and Sacramento are the same. I'm not saying that Oklahoma City and San Antonio are close. Oklahoma City and Portland are not in the same category. No, they're not.
Right.
No, that's not going on. Oklahoma City and Minnesota are not close.
Right. I like that too. I think that makes for good basketball. I think that makes for good basketball, good watching. Yeah. So we're gonna get into this in-season tournament standings. Before we do, did you see any games last night that stuck out to you? I know you mentioned the Lakers OKC game. Yeah. What else did you see yesterday that's worthy of reporting on?
Break up the Hawks, Ox. Break them up.
Man.
Break the Hawks up. I don't like the fact that they blew Cleveland out. Both games they played them. Smoked these dudes. Straight smoked them. Put the broom to them. And a lot of people will say this is a bad matchup. I think that Kenny Atkinson gets outcoached by Quinn Snyder. I think Kenny Atkinson doesn't do a good job with his rotational guys. I think his defensive schemes have been the biggest problem. Ox, you are a basketball guy. I am a basketball guy. There are things that are simple and there are things that are complicated. The things that are simple, do those things. Do them. We don't have to make this more complicated than what it is. And when I'm watching Atlanta and I'm watching Cleveland yesterday, they're clearly going after George Niang. They're clearly going after Sam Merrill. And what are they doing? They're looking for switches. Now, I know for a fact, at the pro level, I know for a fact that you can get around a screen because you could get around a screen in the 8th grade. You could get around a screen in the 11th grade. You were taught how to get around a screen in college. You were taught how to do that. And you definitely were taught how to get around ghost screens because those are nothing.
That's not even a screen.
It's not. It's not. You were definitely taught to get around those. You don't even have to do anything. Just take a step back. He's going to walk right past you. It's that simple. They're looking for you to switch that. Instead, they go after Sam Merrill with guys like Kobe Bumpkin. They go after George Niang. They get the switches that they want. If I'm watching this last night, Ox, and Mars had said this to me a while ago, and I wasn't really on board with it, with the small backcourt. But this is when the small backcourt could be a problem. When I got Darius Garland switched on to Jalen Johnson, that's a problem. I got a 6'9" guy switched on to a 6'1" guy. Why are we switching so much? We shouldn't be switching nearly as much as we do. We shouldn't be. We should be getting around screens. Not only should we be getting around screens, we should stay in our stance when our guy has the ball. We let these guys off the hook a lot of times with switching. That's what they're anticipating. They're not anticipating you getting around screens, which is what was going on yesterday in Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, chill. I'm still with you on that. I think Darius and D-Mitch can play together. I think that sometimes we might got to stagger those minutes, but those are 2 heavy minute guys. They're gonna play a lot of minutes, so they have to play together. I would prefer if they were on the floor with another wing that was a hell of a better defender. But we had a conversation about this. Yeah, Okoro. Yes, somebody like that. If they were able to go make a move for a guy like Cam Johnson, that would be great. But chill. I combated that because I feel like if I do have smaller guards, we can have a different defensive scheme. We can work with different defensive principles. I was told, so I remember we had this conversation about screens, and I was like, well, I don't have to allow my man to screen my guard. I can bump him off the screen. I can ride him up. I can be physical and make it hard for him to where we don't have to just accept the switch. I was told, they don't play like that in the NBA. I was told, you always think like this is high school or think like this is college, but it's basketball. Well, why do we not play like that in the NBA? Why can't I get physical and bump my guy off a screen? Why can I not do that? These are the questions I have. It's like we can have different defensive principles when we are at a clear size disadvantage. You know, there's ways around that. I don't have to allow my guard to switch on to the power forward or another big guy. We can work around that. There's ways around that.
Now, one of the things that are worrisome is because guys shoot the long ball. So Ox, you got the big fella, and you're bumping him up the lane. So now, what do I have to do? Am I going to play drop? Am I going to give up the long ball, or am I going to get around this screen? And am I going to let him sit? Because it's now, if you're bumping that guy up the lane, now it's a double screen. So I tell you what, I'm going to live with that. I've always, if we're going to play the numbers, I've always felt like I'll play drop on Trae Young and let him shoot 14 threes. I'm good with that.
You gonna live with that shit?
I'll live with Trae Young shooting 14 threes. Yes, I will. He can shoot 14 threes, Ox. If we're gonna lose with Trae Young. We're gonna lose with Trae Young going 8 for 14 at the long ball line, shooting 35 footers. Because again, Ox, remember what you're doing. You're pushing that big up the lane. It's not like you're pushing him. It's not like you're pushing him at the long ball line. No. That screen is coming behind the 3-point line. So if you're pushing that big up the lane, that means that he's further back from the 3-point line. He's looking at probably 3 or 4 more feet. Yeah. So with that being said,
so you don't go under that thing?
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I am gonna go under it, and I'm gonna let Trae Young. If Trae Young is 30 feet away from the basket, 28 feet away from the basket, go ahead, Joe. I'll live with you shooting 13, 14 threes doing that. I will live with that.
Yeah. If you're shooting from that distance, I will get. But still, though, a lot of times too, you look at it where I might go under a screen, and I know we're talking Trae Young here, a hell of a shooter. But if I go under a screen, that doesn't mean I'm just coming down and waiting for him to come to me. I'm going under the screen and I'm meeting him up top. I'm getting to him.
Yes,
but
you can do that too.
And there's also, I don't understand why can't we chase over the screen no more? I'm not even getting screened. I'm chasing my man in the big or whoever's man is screening is showing and getting back. Now we
did that yesterday.
Right, I can show and get big right here and then recover to my man. But we still got 3 other players on this court that can rotate and we can fly around and get back. I think we need to. And I know people are saying, "Oh, they're covering too much space." Well, that's just a part of the game. Like we have to work. We got to move on defense. We have to hold our whole team accountable to play defense, not just the 2 guys that are involved in this pick and roll.
Team defense.
Everybody got to get involved.
Sure, it's team defense. Now I'm a little bit worried, Ox, and I do understand the logic of getting around screens, because if I'm chasing a smart guard like Donovan Mitchell, a smart guard, is coming off a screen like De'Aaron Fox, and while I'm chasing, he's gonna make me bump him to get a shot. Right? He is doing that. That's where you come in as the big guy. You got to show to make sure that he doesn't get that ball and to slow him down and to get him off of his pivot. Because once he comes off that screen and you show, you can't get him the basketball. Now he's got to go out and get the ball, which now gives me an opportunity to get back to him. So I think that's part of it, no doubt about that. But there's things that you have to give up, and we are so we're so enthralled with guys like Steph Curry, thinking that everybody can shoot like that. I am not going drop. I'm not going to play drop on Steph Curry. The Boston Celtics proved that. I'm not going to play drop on Steph Curry. I will live with Trae Young shooting 13 threes. I will live with that. If we're going to lose, with Trae Young shooting 13, 14 threes. I'm straight with that. And it's very much like Draymond. I know how you feel about Draymond. It's like, Draymond, you got to go for 30. Draymond, you got to go for 30. I feel the same way about Trae Young playing drop. If Trae Young's going to crack that 27, 28 footer and he's going to shoot 12 or 13 of them, you know what that means, Ox? That means the rest of these dudes in the offense, they're not getting involved. But that's not going on, because Trae Young, I don't know if you guys know this, Trae Young is averaging 12.5 assists. That's the most since John Stockton in 93. Yeah. He will get off that pill. He will definitely get off that pill. 100% he will.
Trae, he's fighting his teammates. That's why he's doing that.
100%.
He had 22 assists the other day. Trae Young is not playing around right now.
No, he's not.
He got some guys that he clearly trusts his guys.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Before we move on and get into some more of the in-season tournament standings, I do want to pull up. I have the standings right here. I want to pull those up. But let me real quick. Let me you know what? I got a super chat that we'll get to after. We'll get to it in a second. Because we already on this. Here, let me share it so everybody can see. I'm surprised. I'm gonna go ahead and admit I'm kind of shocked by a lot of these standings I'm seeing. Let's see how everybody else feels. Where
The
is it?
in-season
Oh my,
tournament's been great, man. It has been.
yeah, it has definitely. And so this coming Tuesday is the last day of our round robin play before we get to tournament play in Vegas. A couple teams I believe already stamped their card, like the Hawks is stamped, right? They're
They
going.
in.
Right?
They
Yeah, they're
going.
in. Oh, because they already played there for this. This is
They
crazy.
won their group. They won their
Okay, so
group.
let's start in the West with Group A. The
Yep.
Rockets are still 3-0. I'm pretty sure they got this on lock. I mean, they would have to lose on Tuesday by a lot of points.
Yes.
So the Rockets are 3-0. Wow, you
The
got the
Trailblazers do a
Blazers.
monkey wrench in this whole thing, Ox, because I had Minnesota.
man.
I had Minnesota winning
Yeah.
this division, and the Trailblazers smacked them twice. So they just do a monkey wrench in the whole thing, and
then beat up on us last night.
Then beat up on you guys. So the Trailblazers do a monkey wrench in this whole thing for me, which goes back to my original point when I told you about a week ago. The Trailblazers don't suck. They don't. The Trailblazers are a much more competitive team this year. I like what I'm seeing from Chauncey Billups. I like the big fella around the basket yesterday. One of my biggest problems with Chauncey Billups and DeAndre Ayton is a little soft, but that's not what was going on. That was not going on last night. So Trailblazers don't suck, man. They do not. They are much more competitive than they were last year. Much more. I was wrong about them. I had them at the bottom of the West, no doubt.
Yeah. So yeah, the Rockets look like they got that one. It looks like it goes Rockets 3-0, Trailblazers 2-1, Timberwolves 2-2, Clippers 1-2, and the Kings 0-3. So everybody in this bracket will be playing on Tuesday except for the Timberwolves. They're finished up. In West Group B, this is still close. West Group B is still these top three teams: the Suns, Thunder, and Spurs.
Lakers are out, and the Jazz are out. Lakers eliminated; they're out, and the Jazz are out. So now it's a 3-team race between the Suns, Thunder, and the Spurs. Who I did not see the Spurs in this. I did not. I thought Oklahoma City was going to win. When we first did this, I had Oklahoma City winning this. That was before Chet went out. I had Oklahoma City winning this. But the fact that KD's been back in the lineup, Bill's been back in the lineup, I'm really interested to see how Phoenix. I'm really interested to see how they fare in this, because I can tell you right now, Ox, as much as I question Nurkic's motor, I feel like offensively, a lot of the stuff that Phoenix does with Grayson Allen, with KD, with Bradley Beal, with Devin Booker, a lot of the stuff they do make up for that. Now, when you play against better teams with legit bigs, I mean, now I think it could be a problem moving forward, but I feel like they got enough right now.
Right. So on Tuesday, the Spurs play the Suns and the Jazz play the Thunder, if I'm not mistaken. So that Spurs Suns game is going to be very important.
That's for the division. That's going to be for the division right there. Yeah. Yep. That Spurs Suns game. That's going to be for the winner of that game is going to Vegas. Yep. The winner of that game is going to Vegas.
Yeah, I'm really just enjoying this tournament.
Yes.
Man. I'm happy that we had another good one this year, because last year everybody took it very seriously. We have very high intensity games, and it seems like this same thing this year.
Yeah.
Also, Chill, another thing that we have to remember is that there is going to be a wild card team. And I believe that the wild card team is coming out of Group B.
It might be the Spurs.
Right. It could be the Thunder, right?
It could be the Thunder too. It could be the
So if the Suns beat the Spurs by a good margin, and then the Thunder beat the Jazz by a good margin, then I'm pretty sure the Thunder might get that.
They get that spot, and I think the Spurs are out.
Right. Yeah. So this is intense. In Group C, looks like the Warriors will probably take this one, but the Mavericks, I believe, are still have action.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. The Nuggets. I had the Nuggets winning this division. Did I have the Nuggets? It was either the Nuggets or the Grizz.
I had the Nuggets in this one.
Yeah, I think I either had the Nuggets or Memphis winning this division. Dallas has just been so much more active on defense. That's the thing that I really like about them. And that's coming primarily from Najee Marshall. That energy that he brings, that is for real, Ox. That energy that he brings, where he's directing traffic, he's letting guys off the ball know. Chris Paul said something, I heard it a while ago, where he was at a camp and he said he walked in to the gym and he said, I could tell which teams are winning and which teams are not winning. And that's by how quiet it is. And Najee Marshall does a lot of talking on defense. That's necessary, right? Because if we ain't communicating on defense, Ox, you don't know where the back screen is. Chill, you don't know where the screen is coming from. You don't know where the action is. We have to talk to each other. We have to communicate with each other. Otherwise, there's no reason for us to be on the floor. And I feel like Najee Marshall brings that. Plus the toughness that he has. Like, he's not going to get pushed around. I saw him get into it with Jimmy Butler last year. So I can tell you right now, Najee Marshall is not a pushover. I like what he brings to this. I like what he brings to this Mavericks crew. Very much so. And Irv has just been special for Dallas. I like what they're doing in Dallas. I do.
Yeah. I'm not worried about Dallas as far as much as people were early. I think they're going to be A-okay.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the West so far, y'all. That's the West. And y'all let us know who y'all think is going to Vegas and who y'all think is winning this cup. Excuse me. Moving on to East Group A, we have the Magic and the Knicks are both 3-0. That's so we have two situations in the East like that. The Magic and the Knicks are both 2-0, and then the Pistons and the Bucks are both 2-0. Now, if you look, I don't want to skip that Group A, so I'm not going to skip Group A. Let's keep talking about Group A. I'm really intrigued with Group B though. Okay, so Group A, we got 3-0, Knicks and Magic. Who is winning this group? Who's going to take it? I mean, that point differential is 60 point. Wow, that's a lot of points.
It is. I had the Knicks winning this division, and points matter. So they got to make up 45 points. So they got to smoke somebody, Ox.
That's not happening.
It's not, Ox. They're not beating whoever they play next. They're not beating them by 40.
There's nobody's going out like that.
It's 45. By the way, Ox, it's 45 just to catch them.
Right.
That means that they got to beat them.
The Knicks
by
would
50.
have to lose. Right?
Yes. So I don't think that they're catching them. Like I said,
the Knicks and Magic play each other on Tuesday. That's the game on Tuesday. Knicks
and they got to beat the Magic by 55 in order for him to beat that. In order for them.
Since they're playing each other, they only got to beat them by 45. 46. They only got to beat them by 46 points. If the Magic
46,
yeah,
it's not happening. Y'all beat them dudes by 50, yo. Y'all not doing that.
Right. Yeah,
but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, so the Knicks would have to beat the Magic by 46 points. But with that being said, like we already know, there is a wild card that has to come out of the East. And now, with that being said, the Pistons and the Bucks are both 3-0. With the 1 point differential. And the best part about that is they play each other on Tuesday.
How about that? The Pistons and the Bucks. I think that wild card is the Celtics, huh? So you're thinking it's going to be the Celtics? Yeah, I think that wild card is the Celtics.
Let me see. We'll go back to that. I just moved because so they're done. They're pretty much done. The Celtics and the Hawks are done. The Hawks got that division.
They got that division wrapped up.
I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from with the Celtics.
I had Detroit win. I think I had Detroit winning this division.
I believe you said that. Yeah, I think you did. I had Miami.
Yeah, I think I had Detroit winning this division. If Detroit, all they got to do is beat the Bucks by 1, and they straight. All they got to do is beat them, and they win this division. And the Bucks are out. It's that simple. And the Bucks would be out. And I think the Celtics are the wild card. So Detroit does, and just like the Trailblazers. I said this to you a couple of days ago, Ox. I can't say anymore when I talk about the Pistons. Oh, y'all beat Detroit. Who did y'all play? Detroit. I can't say that anymore. They don't suck. Yeah. Detroit does not suck, Ox. They got a good team over there, yo. They're competing. They're a lot better. So I'll be real interested to see, because this game is on Tuesday. This game is on Tuesday. I'll be real interested to see how Detroit and Milwaukee, especially considering they just played not these two teams, but Detroit played a couple of nights ago, and they ended up winning on a buzzer beater by Ivy. So Ivy's got a bunch of confidence going on. So I mean, I like what I'm seeing from Detroit. I do. They don't suck. They do not.
Not at all. Hey guys, we got love for Detroit this year. You know,
they not whack, yo. They not.
Shout out to them. Shout out to them for sure.
Detroit is not whack.
And last but certainly not least, we have the Atlanta Hawks in their Group C. So the Hawks technically the only team that have punched their card. I mean,
yes.
The Rockets are going. I'm pretty sure the Warriors are going, but the Hawks have the only team that's technically stamped their card.
Well, they won a division. The Hawks already won the division, so they straight. These other teams, like again, the Hawks are the only team that they don't have any more work to do.
Right.
There's nothing else for them to do. They beat Cleveland twice. Who did they lose to? I think they lost to Washington. I think Washington is one of the teams that beat them in that division.
Well, in the cup though, because they beat Cleveland twice, but only one of those mattered though in this.
Right. So yes, that's right. The second one was the one that I think yesterday was the one that mattered. They beat them a couple of nights ago, and that didn't matter in this particular situation. I think they lost to Washington in the cup, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they're the only one. The Hawks are the only ones that don't have to do anything else in the East.
It was Chicago.
The Bulls beat them?
It was Chicago.
That's right. The Bulls did beat them they actually handled Atlanta.
Yeah, it was Chicago.
Yeah, they actually handled it. I thought it was Washington because I know one of their losses is to Washington. One of their 11 losses is to Washington. So they ended up losing to Chicago in that division. But yeah, Atlanta's the only one in this division that they don't have to do anything else. Everybody else, but the Celtics are still the Celtics because they just beat Chicago yesterday. With them beating Chicago, I think they're the wild card in this division.
Right. Right. Well, that's what it looks like so far in the in-season tournament, y'all. Make sure to tap in Tuesday so we can see who wraps it up and who's punching their ticket to Vegas. I'm sure this one's going to be just as good as last year. We got a super chat from Itzhak Ira. He says, or they say, Mavs currently have the West wild card, 2-1 with a plus 41 point differential. All they need to do is beat Memphis Tuesday to lock it up. Speaking of Memphis, can we talk about their soft-ass schedule? So easy to start.
Hey, man, that's part of it. Y'all didn't say anything about the Warriors when the Warriors won 73 games, right? You ain't say nothing about the Bulls when the Bulls won 72 games. You ain't say nothing about the Spurs when they won 67 games. You ain't say nothing about the Celtics last year when they won 65 games. So what? We still got to play everybody. We do. We still got to play everybody. And just so you know, Adam Silver is listening. So what he's going to do, he's going to take Ox's advice. He's going to take Ox's advice, and they're going to start playing. They're going to start playing 3 West Coast games. They're going to start playing these West Coast teams 3 times. He's going to start doing that. And let's get rid of the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. We're going to have a 16-team playoff. So
right. And chill, I don't think that means we have to get rid of the conferences. You know what I'm saying? I think you still represent the East. You still represent the West.
When the playoffs start, I mean. When the playoffs start. Yeah.
Right.
Like the ACC doesn't go anywhere because North Carolina got the number 3 seed. The ACC is still around, right? I can get with that, sure.
Right. Okay, well, I got 2 more super chats we're gonna get to, and then we're gonna get to the lobby. We got a couple of fellas in the lobby waiting to come up and give their takes for the week. We got another one from pimp named Slickback. He says, nobody had a better Thanksgiving than me. Family member told me that we handed them a chip with Bridges. Now we want some gone. They're saying to the bench. Pride of the Yankees with the resume of the Jets. Wow.
How quickly they welcome you into Jerusalem.
Wow.
And then they want to burn you at the stake. That's Knicks fans for you though, Ox. Wow. That's who Knicks fans are. It's just a matter of time before they turn on Jalen Brunson too. Don't worry.
They can't turn on JB.
It's just a matter of time, Ox, before they turn on him. I watched them turn on Ewing. I watched them turn on Allen Houston, and you know how I feel about Allen Houston. It's just a matter of time. It's the Knicks fan base. That's who they are. That's who they are. 1 minute, yo, you're the greatest thing ever, and they want to marry you, and the next minute they can't get you out the house fast enough. They can't.
Where's the loyalty, Knickerbocker fans, man? Come on.
They can't get you out the house fast enough.
I think the Knicks are going to be okay. I still got the Knicks as my favorites in the East, y'all. I still got them. And I'm still a fan of Mikal Bridges. So we'll see what happens. We got another super chat from Dave. Dave said the Hawks could get out of mid if Trey allows it.
What you want from what else you want from Trey? I mean, he's a 20-10 guy, leading the league in assists. He's been at the top of the assist board in like the last 4 years. Sure, he takes some ill-advised shots. I get that. And he could be a liability on defense off the strength that he's small. Right. That happens. But Trey is doing a lot of stuff that's positive for this crew. A lot. One of the main reasons why they are where they are right now is because of Trey. One of the main reasons why they are where they are right now is because of Trey. I'm not a fan of point guards that shoot a lot. I've never been a fan of point guards that shoot a lot, but I am a fan of point guards who pass. And Trey passes. 100%. He will get off the pill.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
I like how he's moving the rock. Rock out Deuce says, Ox, Memphis will bust y'all ass in the 7-game series. I highly doubt it. But hey, I mean, I would love to see. 7-game series means we make the playoffs, so I would love to see that. You know,
that's what that means.
Right.
That's exactly what that means. We in the playoffs.
Right. Key says J.I. So Jonathan Isaac versus Cat and Suggs versus Brunson equals Magic win.
I don't know. I don't know if Brunson has to dominate that matchup, but I do think that he wins it. And Jonathan Isaac doesn't play long enough, Keys, he doesn't play long enough for him to win that matchup against Key. If you're only playing 10 minutes, playing 12 minutes, I don't think that's enough to get Cat off of his rhythm. No, it's not.
Right. Now it could just be the right 10 minutes that puts him over the edge.
It could be.
But I would like to see it, or I would like to see Orlando Knicks series this year. I would really like to see that. See if Mikal could, not Mikal, see if OG could slow down Paolo. I would love to see that. Definitely would. All right. Well, that's the super chat so far. Let me see who's in the lobby. Oh, my man Breezy. Yo, Breezy, what's up?
Yo, I'm just enjoying the show, man. For one, shout to Chill, shout to Big Ox, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I seen some of that parlay the other day. Fire. I think Mars said it. Yo, that production was movie type shit, bro. That shit was
right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I hope y'all got a part 2 or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more of it. Yeah, there's definitely more. They're gonna release more of it. You're gonna see the whole thing. You're gonna see Ox going at it. You're gonna see Mars going at it. It was dope, yo. Oh, it was fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting on it. I kind of wanted to piggyback on what Ox was saying. I agree to extent, and I want to just speak on it more because I do believe in the in-season format. Whatever format that he's talking about for the playoffs, I want to see that in the in-season. Kind of maybe like flirting for it to be the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like the in-season games have the Brooklyn Nets play the Sacramento Kings in Group A. Let them be in the same group. Let Brooklyn Nets and Sacramento be in the same group. Let Orlando and Memphis be in the same group. And just mix it up. And maybe you could do it from the season prior. Whoever was, let's say 8 through 16, mix them up and make that 4 groups and make the top 8, them 2 mix up from the East and West, just like a mashup. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to see
that now. They doing that now. They just keeping it in the West. So, like for example, with Group West C, you got the Warriors, Mavs, Denver, Memphis, and New Orleans in the same group. All right, these 2, Golden State is the only one. The Golden State is not in the same division with Dallas. Dallas ain't in the same division with Denver. Dallas is in the same division with Memphis and New Orleans, though. So if you want to take, I don't know, let's take Memphis out of that group. And let's put Brooklyn in there. Let's take Denver out of that group and let's put Miami in it.
Yep.
Let's do that because now back to Ox's point, those that instead of getting 2 West Coast games, you get 3 of them.
Yeah.
So now I like that show because they're mixing divisions now. It's time to mix conferences.
Yeah. Yep. I can get with that. I can definitely get with that.
That's where I'm at with that. And y'all right. Schroeder getting traded, where there's smoke, there's fire. You know what I'm saying? That got a lot of legs to it with the connection with the Wagner brothers. I think it happens. Jet Howard, Juwan Howard is the assistant coach for the Brooklyn Nets. Jet Howard, I think he would be in the fold some type of way where we get a Jet Howard. And to Chill's point earlier, yes, I seen it last night when Schroeder wasn't on the floor. And when you building a championship roster, and again, this is my humble opinion, you need at least 2 shot creators in the starting 5, right? We could obviously, with the cap space we're gonna have, we could go to the free agency and get to the draft. I think we need to go to the draft. Ace Bailey is who I got over Cooper Flag because I think Ace Bailey is a better shot creator than a Cooper Flag. Based on what I've seen from a Jordy Fernandez, we're not going to have much trouble on the defensive side of the ball for a long time. Even us getting work last game, it was because we couldn't match their points at all. And then it's just like in the second half, you know what I mean? Without a shot creator, without Jordy Fernandez, it's only so many X's and O's a coach could draw up. And then after that, you kind of need somebody to shake things up. You need a shot creator to say, the play is I'm gonna give you the ball. That's the play. You know what I'm saying? And
Go get me a bucket.
Word. So without that, Chill, I just feel like, yeah, it's gonna be tough for Nets fans this season. But I'm here for the long run, and I do want to see us get into the draft. Not necessarily for the 2026. I don't think we need to do that. And I'll leave off saying this: it's like 2 vehicles. We're going to take a ship. We're going to take a tank to a ship. We're going to drive the whole tank till we get to the ship named Champion, a championship. And you know what I mean? It's not so eloquently as I put it in the 82 game season. But I'm here for the ride, man. Nets fans
trying to build something. That's what's up. Trying to build something. I can dig it, no doubt.
No doubt. All right, Breezy. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
And
happy Thanksgiving, brother. Yes, sir.
Happy Thanksgiving, Breezy, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Chill. Before we move on to the next, Keys wanted to say Jonathan Isaac has been averaging over 20 minutes this season.
Yeah, and Cat play like close to 35 minutes, something like that. So he's a rotation guy. And is Jonathan Isaac going to win his minutes against Cat? No. I'm not saying because Keys, what you trying to tell me is you telling me that Jonathan Isaac is slowing Cat down the whole game. Good luck with that. Especially in that offense, the way I don't love the Knicks offense. But Cat's game is inside. Cat's game is outside in. And with Cat game being outside in, he starts on the perimeter. When he starts on the perimeter, and once he gets that going, forget it. You got no shot with him. None whatsoever.
Okay. Let's see. We got Jay. What's up, Jay?
What up?
Chill. You think Pritchard got a legit chance to win 6th Man of the Year this year?
Who else is in contention? You think about the rotation guys. I had Buddy Hield at one point, but I think he's been playing much better than Buddy Hield. And Norman Powell starts now. I got Norman Powell as the most improved. But if I'm thinking about rotation players, I mean, I think he's the best backup lead guard in the game, right next to Scottie Pippen. And me and Ox about to have a conversation about this in a little bit. But yeah, I think it's him. I think it's Scottie Pippen and TJ McConnell.
He's like, for someone who's 6 feet tall, I don't see him ever miss a 3. Like, he just shows up. He's in the high 20s, right? He's in the 20s right now. He's 20 a game off the bench. Is there like anyone else? Is there like literally anyone else that could beat him out for it?
Scottie Pippen Jr. That's about it. I mean, Scottie Pippen Jr.
What's he averaging right now?
He's giving you triple doubles off the bench.
Scottie Pippen Jr. That's a little more valuable than triple doubles off the bench.
Scotty's giving you triple double. He's giving you 13, 11, and 10. He's giving you 16, 9, and 8. Yeah, he's doing stuff like that. Scottie Pippen is for real.
I can't believe you were actually right. JT can keep up this kind of offensive production with KP back.
I don't know why he couldn't.
Last year.
Here's why. Well, the reason why last year was because the year before that, he didn't have him. Now he got acclimated to playing with KP. Then KP went out last season for the playoffs. Jason Tatum didn't shoot it very well. And I think that's where the variance comes in. But now the fact that KP is back in the lineup, that adds a different dynamic. Now, what I don't want to see is I saw 35 last night. I don't want to see 19 or 20 the next game.
On piss poor shooting splits.
No, I don't want to see that. I'm not.
Yeah, because he tends to do that where he'll score. He'll have a really good night and then like a really bad night after that.
Yes.
I'm trying to see what I saw like at the beginning of the season: 30, 32, 36, 40.
I'm good with a consistent 20. I'm good with a consistent 27 to 30. I'm good with that. I don't want
27.
I'm good with a consistent 27 to 30.
I should not win MVP with 27 a game.
I said a consistent 27 to 30.
Anywhere, 27 to 30.
There should not be a night when he's under 27 unless we smoke somebody, and I didn't play that much. There should not be a night when he went under 27. Every night I should get at minimum 27 from
That's what happened the game prior, though. Like before this game with the Bulls, he scored 20 points because they blew him out like so fast.
But that's good though. That's a good thing. I mean,
it's a good thing team wise. It's bad for his MVP case though. They win 70 games, and this man's like 26, 9 and 5. He's not gonna win MVP like that.
Well, he's 29 now. That's where he at. He had 29. He's 29 and 8 now. So
that's where he's got to keep it. If he keeps, if he stays at the end of the season 39 and 5, and they win like high 60s to 70 games,
you can't keep it away from him. You can't. Even though as of today, if Denver's in 5th place and Joker is an analytic darling, he basically having the same season this year that he had in 22 when he won the league MVP, and they were in 6th place. He leads the league in win shares. He's leading the league in VORP. He's leading the league in box plus minus. He's at he leading the league in rebounding. He's in the top 5 in the league in assists. He's doing all of that stuff. That stuff matters. And they're a top 5 seed in the West. Man, it's gonna be it's gonna be difficult.
You think they give him a 4th MVP even with JT going 39 and like 5, win 70 games?
Now I think that's going to be the difference. If the Celtics can win, and I think they're going to win 65 to 70 games this year. So if they do that, and Jason Tatum is giving me 38 and 6, even though Joker is doing what he's doing, I think it's going to be hard for them to keep it away from Jason Tatum.
Because what's going to be the case against JT is that Joker is just so much better. He does everything else better.
No, that's what's going to be the case. What's going to be the case against Jason Tatum is that he's on a better team, and what Joker is doing is more valuable to his team's unit than what Jason Tatum, his value. Even though Jason Tatum is in the top 5 in the league in VORP, that's value over replacement player. And if I'm not mistaken, and I said this to the fellas, over the last like 30 years,
the league MVP has always been top 3 in VORP.
Yes, sir. Yes, it has been. So he's in that conversation.
He's top 5. Like he's top 5 in VORP, top 5 in scoring. I think he's leading all small forwards and rebounds again. Might be Braun. I could be wrong on that one, but
no,
he is. He's leading small forwards and rebounds again.
Yes.
Because I mean, chill,
guys. I know that Joker's important, but if Jason Tatum's not on that team, the Celtics are nothing like this.
They're not.
You don't think they're smoking teams out still?
No,
with JB?
No,
that's your man right there. That's Jaylen Brown is your guy.
Yeah, with that still. Jason Tatum, without Jason Tatum, there's nothing like
this. Take 29, 8, and 6 off the table. See how that goes. Let's take that out the lineup and see how that goes.
Yeah, Big Ox. You know, JB will go from averaging like 25 to averaging 30 a game on elite shooting splits. Come on now. Sure, you got to believe JB. You got to believe in your man. That's your guy right there.
No.
No, you don't think so, Chill? All right, y'all have a good one, guys.
All right, man. Yeah, bro, not at all, man.
I'm not ridiculous enough to think as valuable as Joker is that Jason Tatum isn't valuable. I mean, you take Jason Tatum off that roster, that team ain't winning that team is not doing what they're doing. And there's no way you selling me that they're that good that they could do that. No. They're not.
Yeah, I got them maybe 6th in the East, maybe 6th.
I give them top 5. Yeah, I'll give them top 5. But that's as far as I'm going. I ain't going further than that.
Right. Okay, let me see. Classic, what's up?
Yo, what's up, guys?
What up?
What's up? Yeah, I want to talk about the Hawks, man. I think that's a scary team. I don't think that the Celtics or the Cavaliers don't want to see them in the first round, and so I'm hoping with the way that the in-season tournament is looking, the team that wins the in-season tournament might not even make the playoffs. So I kind of hope that the Hawks win, but I hope like they get into the play-in and somehow lose in the play-in because for some reason that's a tough team for the Hawks and the Celtics to beat. And I think Mars said it a couple of days ago, and when he said it, I was like, "What?" And then I kind of thought about it. I was like, "He might be right." He was like, "Efficiency is overrated." And with Trey Young, he be taking some terrible shots, and I'm like, man, how are the Hawks this good? But I mean, I guess the way he's able to create better shots for his teammates makes him that valuable. And it kind of, even though they play different styles, it kind of reminds me of like Tatum. And what Mars said kind of changed how I see Tatum sometimes because even though Tatum takes bad shots to me, terrible shots, the way he's
He
able to
does.
create for his other teammates, the way he's able to play defense, the way he's able to help his team with rebounding, it I guess that's way more important than how efficient he is, which is why last year, even though I hated the way he played in the playoffs, he still led his teams in points, rebounds, and assists.
The problem with
So
the problem with Atlanta is they've got some bad losses. Like they lost to Washington twice. They lost at home to Sacramento. I mean, they should have beat Sacramento. They 100% should have beat Sacramento, but De'Aaron was too much. They did lose. They got blown out by the Celtics. They lost to the Bulls at home. That was a bad loss. So, I mean, the losses that they do have, it gives me vibes that they play down to their competition too. Because I feel like with what they have with both Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels, just from energy guys, that's a lot. And Hunter is one of the best rotation players in the league. He's going to be in a conversation for 6th man of the year. 100% he is.
yeah, I love DeAndre Hunter. I've always wished that he was on like a championship contending team because he gives them great minutes. And then in regards to the Celtics, man, they've been looking good lately. Do you think this year we can get like 3 or 4 All-Stars? Because man, it's a lot of guys hooping. You got Tatum, Brown, Derek White. He's been on a heater. Peyton Pritchard. He's been on a heater. Man, I think we might can get like 3 or 4 All-Stars this year. The way they're playing.
So if you look at what they have right now, right? So if you think about the guarantees, I think Tatum is going to start in the All-Star game, right? So I think Jason Tatum is starting in the All-Star game. I'll be surprised if Jaylen Brown is not an All-Star at 25 a game. I'll be surprised if he's not. But I think Jaylen Brown makes the All-Star game. Then you got Peyton Pritchard and Derek White. So you got Peyton Pritchard. I'm not sure that they're giving Peyton Pritchard that nod. And the reason why is because I remember Tyler Hero. And did Tyler Hero make the All-Star team that year as a rotation guy when he won 6th man of the year?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he did or not.
I don't think he did. I think he was averaging 20 a game coming off the bench. Peyton Pritchard ain't doing that. Peyton Pritchard ain't doing that. I do think that Derek White got a shot to make the All-Star team, though. I do think he does. Drew, I don't think so. I don't think Drew does. I don't think Kristaps is going to make the All-Star team. So I think the guys, Jalen, Jason, and Derek, I think that those guys have a legit shot. Peyton Pritchard, I think his eye is more on most improved and 6th man of the year. I think that's the goal with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna keep saying it until he come back, man. The Mavs, man, they better without Luka. Trying to tell y'all, man. Stay on the lookout for that.
Right on. All right, Classic. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, man. Y'all be good.
Brother. Yes, sir.
Chill. I wanted to talk to you about the Cam Thomas statement, but you had mentioned with Jay that you wanted to talk about something else.
Yeah,
what were you referring to?
I was referring to something that you said a little while ago, and this is your fault, Ox. This is all your fault because I'm watching I'm watching the Indiana Pacers, and TJ McConnell, he's screwing it up, Ox. He is screwing it up. We might have to get TJ McConnell out of here. See what happened? Let me tell you what happens, Ox. What happens is you get a backup guard. The backup guard is supposed to be that. He's supposed to be the backup guard to hold the ship. The backup guard ain't supposed to look better than the lead guard. He kind of screwing that up. Because now when Tyrese come off the floor, not only is this boat still moving, yo, Ox, we cruising. We straight cruising. And we got people like Ox over here maybe this dude should be starting. Maybe this dude should be the guy that's on the floor more. Maybe this is the guy that we should have on the floor more. And I'm watching Indiana against the Trailblazers, and I'm like, Ox gonna go around and get TJ McConnell traded, yo. That's what's gonna happen. He is, because he's screwing it up. He 100% is.
I'm and my also, mind you, I'm not necessarily saying that Tyrese shouldn't play. I'm saying that we could run them together a little more often. You know what I mean? I would like to see them run together a little more often. I think TJ is more equipped to be the head of the snake over there.
Ox, Ox wants the guy that's gonna help us win the most on the floor. And I watch TJ McConnell, and I'm thinking to myself, he need to be on the floor. When I watch TJ, I'm like, he need to be playing. That's not to say that Halliburton ain't fantastic, but when I watch TJ, I'm like, this ain't a dude that's taking it back. And it's not like he's a background singer that's not gonna sing background. He's just a damn good background singer. Where you go, maybe we should be writing some songs for him. Maybe we do need to bring that dude up to the front of the mic and writing some stuff for him. That's kind of screwing up the lead singer. Like, wait a minute, do we have the right lead singer here? Do we might need to get rid of this dude? I don't know. I said Ox screwing it up, yo.
Sure, and then I always when I say that, I hear people say, oh, well, they're paying Halliburton too much money to not play him all the minutes. I just don't understand that way of thinking. My thing is, in business, if I've already spent the money on this and the money's spent, but this is making me more money and I didn't spend that much money on it, I'm gonna push this. Like that, it doesn't make any sense for me to lose basketball games because I paid him more money. Like that should never come into the thought process of the coach. Like the coach should be like, well, you're gonna win us more games, so I'm gonna play you in crunch time. I'll play you guys together. Like, well, however they got to do it, but TJ McConnell got to play, chill. He
got to be on Ox. You turned me on to him. I already knew who he was anyway, but I made it a point of emphasis to start watching him, and I'm watching this dude, and I'm like, he need to be on the floor, yo. He does. He shouldn't be playing He shouldn't be playing no 10, 12 minutes. No, that dude need to be playing. He gives me that Drew Holiday vibe. Like, I'll figure out the rest of you dudes, but that dude need to be in the rotation.
And then like you get comments like this. TJ McConnell 32. Be for real.
So
what does that mean?
So what does that have to do with anything?
I didn't say TJ McConnell is your franchise player and he's gonna be here for 7 seasons and all that. I'm talking about right now. TJ McConnell should be on the floor. That's what I'm talking about. We talking basketball right now, today. TJ McConnell is the better lead guard. And that's not a knock to Tyrese Halliburton. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see what happens, man. That's Rick Carlisle's team, and I'll never had much faith in him anyway. So Cam Thomas says that his generation modeled their game after James Harden, not Steph Curry. What's that mean?
That means that this is the guy, not the team, but this is the guy that we paid more attention to. Because if you think about guys when they come into the league, Ox, young guys, like winning isn't the priority when Cam Thomas shows up. Winning isn't the priority from Jalen Green when he shows up. When these dudes show up, they want to show that they can ball. They want to show that they can stick. And who better to learn from in terms of just being a baller? It's not Steph Curry. You know why? Because Steph Curry in that Golden State unit, they're playing the way that they play basketball, not the way he plays basketball, but the way they play basketball is conducive to winning. I worry about winning years later. What I want to show is I want to show that I can stick. So if I can show I can stick by being a damn good one-on-one player, like James Harden is. I want to show that I'm a damn good long ball shooter, like James Harden is, off the dribble. Even though Steph Curry can do that, but Steph Curry is doing that within the offense. James Harden is the offense. He's the dude with the ball in his hands. He's the dude, which is what this generation is looking at, the baller. He's the guy that everybody wants to be like. Steph Curry being a winner, Steph Curry is part of the system. And I'm not really thinking that far ahead at 21 years old and being part of the system more than being a baller. So I understand where he's coming from with that.
Okay. Yeah, well, shout out to James Harden and Cam Thomas.
Yep.
We got another. Somebody just popped into the lobby too. We got a couple minutes. Let's see what's going on. Yo, Aaron, what's up?
Yo,
what's going on? What's going on, Ox? What's going on,
what
Chill?
up? What up?
From Toronto, Canada. Much love. Watching you guys all the time.
Thanks, brother.
But here's my question: what's going on with the Minnesota Timberwolves? I know they had a dogfight last night with the Clippers, but like, it's just not the same as it was last year. Like, I don't know. Is it the Cat and the Randall trade? Like, is it Ant's play style? Is it the chemistry? Like, what is it really? I just want to know from you two. Like, what's your take?
I think it's all of those things. They got the worst crunch time team in the league. Last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, they're the worst in the league at that. They're one of the worst transition teams in the league. They don't really get a lot of buckets off transition. Their defense is their staple, and it's getting better, but it hasn't been. It hasn't been as good as it was last year. Rudy isn't the rebounder that he used to be, and I still think he's the rim protector that he was. I still think he deters defenses. I think DiVincenzo, something's going on. I'm not sure if he fits. I thought that he would. I thought that he would be a good fit, considering Julius Randle being a playmaker and distributor that he is. Julius Randle second on the team in assists. He will get off the field, 100%. He gets other guys involved in the game. He definitely does that. The problem is that you got guys like DiVincenzo where this thing is just not converting. It's just not working, and I think that's a major problem with what they're doing. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Julius Randle's been great. And, you know, as a distributor, as a bucket getter, he's been great for them, no doubt about that. But you're not going to win with Anthony Edwards shooting 12, 13 threes a game. I think that was a part of his game that he just wanted to bring this season to show that he could do that. But I think that throws a monkey wrench in a lot of stuff that they're doing.
Right. Don't you think they have to get Gobert more involved more? Because sometimes I see him just standing around and he's not a threat or he's not doing anything. And like I think the thing with Cat is not a better passer than Randall, but like he's more of a willing passer. And I'm sure you understand that. Like Cat is willing to do the one more. I don't think they understood how unselfish Cat was and like lets everyone like get a chance. I don't know. Do you think they should be getting Gobert involved more?
I've always said that I thought that Rudy, how many times I've seen Rudy wide open at the basket and they miss him. I mean, I've seen plenty of, 4 for 6 nights, 6 for 9 nights. And, when you got a guy that's that efficient around the basket, you got to get him the basketball, yo. I ain't saying that, we throwing the ball into Rudy for one-on-one coverage, but Rudy is the consummate big man. When you watch him dive to the rim, he's doing this.
Right.
When he's diving to the rim. That's what big guys do. When he's at the rim, yo, I'm open. And I just feel like if that was going on more, I think that would help their offense.
Right. All right, Chill. All right, Ox.
Yep. Good to talk to you, brother.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
We got time for one more guest before we get out of here. Let's see what 11 Winters got to say.
What up?
Yo, what up? Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yep, you hot.
So I got 2 points to address. When y'all address the Tyrese Halliburton Pacers situation, I just want to know this, and I'm not saying it's you guys in particular, but I've been seeing this in the comments or whatever. Why, when a player has sort of like, okay, so like, how the players, they have a great season, but then the next season they come back maybe not as good. They're having like a slump season. Why are we quick to just say, oh, okay, well, bench him or get off him or trade him? Why is that a thing nowadays?
I think it's largely due to when a guy is going this way and he looks like he's going the other way, where we live. We live in the right now society. We live in the YouTube. We live in the instant offense. We live in the, microwave society where everything is right now. And if you're not doing it, let's get off of him as quickly as possible. That's just where we live.
You can't bench a guy like Tyrese Halliburton. Yet, like if Tyrese just falls off a cliff and he just never gets back, then you gotta do what's best for your team. But Tyrese is still the best player on that basketball team. You can't just sit him on the bench.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because
and that's not what Ox is saying. Remember this. Ox is not saying that. I'm just watching TJ McConnell and I'm thinking to myself, this dude needs to be on the floor. It just so happens that he played the same position that your lead guard plays. That's the problem.
Yeah, we can move Tyrese over. They can play together.
But this dude need to be on the floor though. That's it in a nutshell.
I mean, I can understand where you're coming from on that, but at the same time, but let me ask you something: is Tyrese and they play together? Because I feel like as your lead guard in today's game, I feel like you have to be a threat to score. You have to be a threat. I don't think I can't see now. It's saying you move Tyrese to the 2. Is Tyrese a natural scorer?
No, I don't think he's a natural shot creator and scorer. He's one of those guys where you got to play fast in order to get for him to be as effective as he can possibly be. When the game is slowed down, he's not nearly as effective as it is when y'all playing fast. He's
now,
not.
And that goes to my point to where when I said, well, you could play them together. I don't know. Okay, well, I mean, you can, but are they going to be very successful at
I
it?
think
That's
so.
what I should say.
And here's why. First of all, TJ McConnell is a disruptor. You know what disruptors do? Disruptors speed the game up. Disruptors make the game fast because they play on defense, and with them speeding the game up, that enhances Tyrese Halliburton's game. 100% it does. And again, I want to make sure that I want to make sure I'm clear when I say that I don't think that Tyrese Halliburton should be on the bench. I'm probably in a minority when I say TJ McConnell need to be on the floor, yo. He need to be playing more. That's it.
Right. And then my last point is just real quick. What improvements have you seen on Wemby's game this season? Because I've been seeing a lot of people, I've been seeing a lot of people saying he shoots the long ball too much, which I think that there's some truth to that because I don't think you should be that tall and you should be shooting more 3s than 2s. I don't think that, but what do you guys think?
I think him running the floor more. I have seen him improve on that. And they look like they get him the ball around the basket a little bit more than they did last year. That's largely due to Chris Paul being on the floor because that's different vision that they didn't have last year. He's gotten a little stronger, and he looks like he can sit down in that post for a second more than he did last year. He was easily pushed off of his space last year. This season, he looks like he can sit down in that post for just a little while longer. And,
what he
get
add
him the
like
basketball.
What he add like?
I think it was 20 pounds or something like that. It was like 20 pounds over the summer.
Oh, okay. Well, right, fellas, I knew I got to get going, so that's all I had.
All right, brother. Good to talk to you.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
We have one more super chat, and then we are out of here. We got one from Bright. He says, "Great show, guys. I could be wrong, but placement is based on record, then head-to-head, then point differential. I think who wins the Knicks versus Magic wins the pool." And Bright, you are correct. We did talk about this on a panel actually last week. And every time I see the point differential, I just go to it because they put it right there. But it's less important than the head.
So whoever win that Magic Knick game, it doesn't matter if they win by 10 or if they win by 1, they win it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how it works. That's how it works. That's how come in the standings you'll see where I believe on the standings the Celtics have a higher point differential than the Hawks do. But since the Hawks beat the Celtics, they got it. So that's how it works. That's how it works.
Okay.
So with that being said, since everybody plays everybody, I don't even understand what they're even doing the point differential for anyway. Unless it's a tiebreak. So if it's 2, because even if it's 2-2, like say if the top 2 teams both went 2-2, they would still have to have played each other. So the point differential means absolutely nothing.
So if we played each other and we split, but I played against, I don't know, we played Washington and we beat them by 25. Y'all played them and y'all beat them by 15. Like, wouldn't that matter?
No, because me and you still have to play each other.
Right. But we already did that. We already did that. You and me played each other. You and me beat you. You beat me. I beat you. So we're at the top. Or again, that's right. Now that I'm thinking about it, because if we're undefeated, like what's going on with both the Knicks and Orlando, if we're both undefeated and y'all beat Charlotte, you the Knicks, y'all beat Charlotte by 15, and we beat them by 20.
So, okay, the point difference was for the wild card.
Okay, so the point difference is for the wild card.
Point difference is for wild card. That makes a lot of sense. Got it. Okay. That's cool. I mean, that's cool then. That's cool. I'm still with that. Because I keep, every time I see the point differential, I just go to it like, okay, well, they got this is what happens. But then I realize like, well, that doesn't even matter because the head-to-head is more important. So that's cool. Hey, with that being said, all right, y'all make sure to tap in on Tuesday because that's going to settle a lot of things. That's definitely going to settle a lot of things.
Get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, let's check it out. I can't wait for Tuesday, y'all. But as far as today, the show is over, y'all. We got to get up out of here because y'all know Claire will pop in here.
So, her phone already ringing right now. She's like, "Yo, let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go." So,
hey, man, we want a tight ship around here. If you missed the parlay episode yesterday on Black Friday, y'all make sure to go check that out. It was a heck of a debate. Chill and Swiper, they got it in. And y'all just look out for the next installment of the parlay, and we'll see y'all on Monday.
Absolutely. See you guys soon. But until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. Last time you talk to your mother, call your mother. I'm actually going to see my mother next week. And if you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, see my man right here, pick up the telephone. Call him. He'll come scoop you. He got you. He won't leave you out there.
There she go. There go Claire right there, y'all.
Okay. There she is. You're already ringing us. So with that being said, hey, we'll see you guys soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys.
Y'all. Oh, and speaking of that, y'all make sure to go to playerschoicemerch.com. How did y'all not know that this was available? Everybody who's anybody got one. All right. See y'all on Monday.
Absolutely. Later. Good stuff, man.